I'm Alex Hayden, and this is Sonoma Raceway. Qualifying today presents a different situation than most other events on the schedule. Not only do we have group time sessions instead of single laps, but the better you qualify, typically the better you finish at these road courses, as track position is key. The lack of passing opportunities at this 2.5-mile road course makes today's session just that much more important. Kyle Larson set a record pace back in 2019 with a 1 minute 34.59 second lap time. We'll see if anyone can break that today. Looks like we're about ready to let the green flag wave. Let's go down to the track.
And with that, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of NASCAR 21 Ignition on the channel. We're at the Sonoma Raceway tonight for the running of the Toyota Save Mart 350. 90 laps of action will begin here very shortly, but first and foremost, we have to qualify for tonight's event. Session qualifying, of course, the top 12 will advance into session number 2. The first session is 25 minutes. Of course, that first session we're only going to run a couple laps, try to set the quick time, and then and then after that, if we do end up qualifying in the top 12, we'll run all 10 minutes in session number 2. If we don't, obviously we're not going to run session 2. We'll jump right into the race from there. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content, realistic commentary for full-length NASCAR video game races during the week and the real races on the weekend. And no race coming up this weekend, at least on the channel, for the live commentary. I'll be at Dirt Bristol for both the Truck Series and the Cup Series race. So race highlight videos from the grandstands will be out later this weekend. And then we'll be back at it again the following weekend with the live race commentary when NASCAR heads to Talladega. But for tonight, let's see what we have setup-wise. Should have it on the stable setup. Yep, that's exactly where we're at. So stable setup for tonight. And we'll see if we can get Ryan Blaney his second pole of the season.
Two good ones here. Give it all you got. Two good ones here. Give it all you got.
Qualified second at COTA earlier this season. We'll see what he could qualify here today at Wine Country. Forgot what button. Every time I play this game, I forget what button it is to shift up and down because I'm so used to it being R1, L1 in the other NASCAR games. Ryan Blaney's going to have 2 laps to try and set the quick time, or at least a quick enough time to get into the top 12. Really trying to figure out where he needs to shift. No practice, just jumped right into qualifying for this one. Brian Rodriguez and Furfur Express, welcome to the stream. Says Mark Trix Jr. won in 2020. Nobody won here in 2020. They didn't race here in 2020. I didn't even notice that. It would have been the race prior to that, so 2019 would have been the last race they would have had here before 2021. That just adds another minor issue to all the major and other minor issues they have with this game. I gotta say, it definitely feels like the car's got a lot of grip. Blowing through that second to last corner just a little bit. Power slide back into the throttle. We'll see what this first lap is going to be for Ryan Blaney at the start-finish line. It looks like it's a 1 minute 39.764 second lap time. Definitely going to have to pick the pace up on lap number 2 if he's going to want to qualify in the top 12. Problem is that there's traffic up in front of him now as he closes in on the one of Kurt Busch. Busch is definitely going to be costing Blaney quite a bit of time. Blaney trying to get around him, but he's not able to do so. Stability help will be on as usual for the 750 racetracks, 750 horsepower racetracks that is. Short tracks and road courses. Blaney getting a little tight in the dirty air and off into the sand he goes. And I think lap 1's going to be his quickest of the 2 lap times. Right in the middle of the carousel, he almost got into the back of Kurt Busch, who was running very slow, and he went wide. Some of that was just in the dirty air itself. Gonna have to get used to that if he qualifies back in traffic. Nathan Elliott, fake Alex Bowman, welcome to the stream as well. Just use Jeff Gordon's setup that he used to. I think that's disclosed information. Forgot they nearly come to a stop in this final corner. That's definitely not going to help the lap. I don't think this lap was going to be anywhere close to a top 12 qualifying lap anyway, but that actually reminded me for the race that they go really, really slow and back it down to about 20 miles an hour in that area of the track. A 144, about 5 seconds slower that lap compared to the first lap. And we'll see if Blaney can advance into the second session from lap 1. Well, that's not accurate. There's no way we qualified last. I am really confused right now. $134. Huh? Maybe I did qualify last. I don't know. That seems oddly slow. Considering we just won the last road course race at Coda, there's no way we're that far off the pace. Might just be another qualifying blunder with this game. I don't know. Kyle Larson, top of the charts in session 1. I'll have to let Alex do the pre-race, and then we'll get to see who qualified where in session number 2. I'm trying to figure out... I don't know. I'm shocked that we qualified last. I guess Blaney's going to be starting from the rear today. Going to be tough to stay out of trouble. We'll see where he'll end up finishing at the end of this one.
Deep in wine country to bring you all of the action from this 50-plus-year-old racetrack. Sonoma has been a staple in NASCAR since 1989, and we have 40 thirsty drivers looking to put their name in the race winner column. Jeff Gordon holds the record of 5 wins here, but we have drivers like Martin Truex Jr. inching their way closer to that mark.
Hey, it's Alex Bowman right there. And he's in the chat. What do you know?
Which driver is going to get it done today? Let's head trackside here at Sonoma to get the engines fired.
We'll take a look at the top qualifying runners in session number 2 before we get started with this race. Hang on, I gotta back up. Gotta look at the data pad. Kyle Larson sweeps both sessions in qualifying. He'll be starting from the pole here today. He is second in the regular season point standings after a little bit of a drop back in the last few races, so he's going to look to take the points lead back today. Denny Hamlin will start outside of the front row in second. Chase Elliott, William Byron in row 2. Chase Elliott, this is the only road course that he has not won on in his Cup Series career, so he'll try to win here today at Sonoma. Alex Bowman, Kyle Busch in row 3. Kyle Busch, a 3-time Sonoma winner. Of course, won here most notably in 2015. His first win back after breaking his leg at Daytona that season. Austin Dillon and Tyler Reddick, the 2 RCR cars, will line up in row number 4 with Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski, a couple of former champions, in row number 5. So here we go. Going to be starting deep in the field in this one with Ryan Blaney after qualifying last for whatever reason, but we'll see what's going to happen. 90 laps, and we are going to have, I believe, 20 laps in stage 1, 20 laps in stage 2. Final stage will be 50 laps to bring us home to the finish. Again, like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content as we are about to get going. The green flag is in the air at Sonoma. Bit of a log jam going uphill into the S's. Ryan Blaney already going to gain a bunch of positions on the opening lap as he finds his way 3 wide in traffic and cleanly is up to 27th, passing about 13 cars. They're still stacking up back here. He gets another couple positions. Still 3 wide. Trying not to make contact with anybody. Hugging the curbing. Still 3 wide. Now he outbreaks Almirola to the inside of Corey LaJoie in the 7, and he'll squeeze between LaJoie and McDowell, trying to find himself in line into the carousel, and already up to the 22nd position on just the first lap. McDowell trying to outbreak him, though, into the next corner. The outside is Blaney's tiptoeing around the track in case there's any more checkups on this opening lap. Blaney trying to get McDowell back.
Got one right. All clear. All clear. Stay right.
McDowell trying to outbreak Corey LaJoy as well. Of course, we know that 34 car, the driver of the 34 at least, very good on road courses. Probably be a good car for Blaney to try and follow to get through the field. Much better acceleration. He definitely knows that there's going to be a checkup a couple corners from now. In the passing position on McDowell, and he'll make the pass. Oh, they're already stacking up. Big wheel hop by the 43 car of Eric Jones. Blaney on the bottom. Creeping around that second to last corner in the hairpin at the bottom of the hill. And in one lap, he's gone from last to 16th. What a start for the 12. I wasn't sure if he was going to get stage points at first with qualifying in the last place position. There are two pretty bad laps in qualifying, but obviously he's quickly picked it up. He was patient. He got through all those cars cleanly. No contact to do it. Wade Solinsky, welcome to the stream as well. Mark Truex Jr. driving it in deep. A lot of hairpin corners on this racetrack, but really only about 2 to 3 different passing lanes on this track. Blaney closes now on Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 car. Gonna look to try and outbreak him. Truex is actually gonna send it into the next corner as well, and he locks the tires up. Working on the 17 car right now of Chris Buescher. Blaney gonna back up the S's. Trying to get a run on Martin Truex Jr., who is also a 3-time Sonoma winner. Blaney looking for an opportunity to make the pass on him. He'll sit and wait patiently now and try to outbreak him in the next corner. Truex with a bit of a slide off the curbing that time. Here comes Blaney with the run. On the outside of the 19. Oh my goodness, thought he was going to get into the tire barrier there for a second. That was a close call. Also going to get around Chris Buescher on the outside for 14th place. And in line behind the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto. Yeah, we're not pitting anytime soon. It's only lap 3. Should be able to make it through stage 1 without having to pit at all. DiBenedetto going to go really wide, giving an opportunity for Ryan Blaney to close in again on another driver for position. Blaney trying to take care of his car. We mentioned that he won the last road course race at COTA. That was only 2 races ago. He won both stages and the race in that one after qualifying second. So he looks for a pass on the 21 of DiBenedetto. We'll see if he can actually get it done. Bit of a power slide. Working back to the throttle that time. Blaney going to try to outbreak the 21 car. Clear. Nice clean pass, and now he'll work on the 4 of Harvick. Definitely want to keep it on the racetrack as much as possible, not use as much excess pavement as possible, just because this game likes to give penalties for that on the road courses. Another massive run for Blaney on another car. This time it's on Harvick in the 4. Outbreaks him, makes the pass. Bubba Wallace checking up. He'll get around him on the outside, beating Wallace back to the throttle, and Blaney is up to 11th place already. 3 laps to go from last to 11th. Last to 16th on the opening lap. Really finessing his way around this racetrack right now. And champion difficulty, like pretty much every other race on this season. Blaney has a run on Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski in front of him as well. So all 3 Penske cars running nose to tail. Then the affiliated Penske car of Matt DiBenedetto just a few spots back of these guys in 14th. Blaney beats Logano back to the throttle. Off the exit of the carousel, clear. Blaney charges on corner entry. Going to go a little bit wide. Logano almost gets underneath him in the 22 car, but not quite. Blaney's really good in the S's. That was his strong spot at Coda in the last race, too. Seemed to be in the S's. And he's underneath Brad Keselowski in prime position to make a pass for position. And already up to 9th place. Austin Dillon with a bit of a block. As they work their way through the kink and back to the start-finish line into turn 1. I will say, though, if he definitely doesn't win Stage 1 with the speed that the 12 is showing early on, you'd have to assume that it is because of the poor qualifying effort. It's good that he's quickly in position to get stage points. We still have 15 laps to go in Stage 1 this time by as well. Going to go a little bit wider. Arcing the exit of the carousel off to make the pass on Austin Dillon for 8th place. It's a great undercut move. Now he drives it in deep on the 48 of Alex Bowman. Going to go wide, trying to make the pass, and Bowman's going to try to cross him over for 7th, and they're still side by side. Oh, a little bit of contact. First time Blaney's made contact with somebody today. I'll make that twice now. Both times with the 48 car on this lap within the last couple of corners. Blaney purposely going wide on the 48, who squeezes him nearly into the wall off the exit of the corner, not realizing the 12 was there. Guess it was a clean block nevertheless. There was no contact that time. Blaney charges turn 1. Blaney's knocking on the back bumper of the 48 car repeatedly. It's not on purpose. He's definitely faster than him, and he just can't keep from running over him. He's obviously using a lot of brake bias and brake pressure in the early going of this one, so he's going to burn those front tires off maybe a little bit more quicker than everybody else. Crew says pit. No real damage on the 12 car, though. It's just a couple light bumps on the 48. Bowman, a little bit of a defensive line that time, and the 12 just doors him up out of the way. And the hairpin for 7th. Blaney's like, listen, I got to go if I'm going to want a shot to win Stage 1. Feels he has a car fast enough, but you could already see that there's a giant gap between William Byron, who is in 4th place, and whoever may be in 3rd right now. I assume it's probably Chase Elliott. That's who qualified 3rd at least. It's either him, Hamlin, or Larson. Blaney drives it in deep underneath the 8 of Tyler Reddick. Gonna outbrake him. Gets to the outside, beating Kyle Busch back to the gas now. And a drag race back to the start-finish line between the 12 and the 18. Busch doors the 12. And now he doors him again. And he got alongside Kyle Busch cleanly. Kyle, very defensive, trying to hold his position. Denny Hamlin, by the way, is the leader. Kyle Busch a lot smoother rolling back to the throttle. Blaney gonna widen it out, trying to diamond the corner off. Off the exit, pokes back to the inside. This is the same way he got around Austin Dillon for 8th place. He'll get alongside Kyle Busch again. He's gonna win the race into the braking zone. Blaney into the back of Busch. A lot of damage to the left rear corner panel of Kyle Busch's race car from that. Blaney slipping and sliding again. Blaney on the bottom. Busch gave him at least a little bit of room that time, and they're still side by side. Closes on Byron to the outside of the 24 car. Byron nearly turns the 12. He didn't give him much room either. Blaney up to 4th. Much needed stage points after what was a good start to the season, but the midpoint of the year is really lacking. A lot of clean air to work with now, and he can really start to push hard. Try to run down the top 3 who have really pulled away from the rest of the field. NASCAR dirt is disgusting to the eyes. Welcome to the stream. I wouldn't go that far. Well, you can see some of the leaders. Actually, I think that's back marker cars working their way into turn 1. That side of the racetrack. Blaney pushing maybe a little bit too hard right now. I mean, the top 3 aren't even within sight anywhere. It's tough to tell by the leaderboard exactly how far ahead they would be also. Blaney knows, though, whatever happens here, that he just can't push overly hard and risk wrecking the race car while he's up to 4th place. He's at least in good position to get a fair amount of stage points. Look back at Dover not that many races ago where he wrecked while leading late in stage 1, pushing it too hard, just trying to hold on to the stage win. And he ended up getting no stage points and eventually put him a lap down, which he couldn't come back from the rest of the race. So you don't want to force yourself into an issue where you have to make an unscheduled pit stop. Hamlin still leads. Larson's 2nd, Elliott 3rd right now. That's the top 3. Then you have Bowman in 4th, and then 5th place is William Byron. So 3 Hendrick Chevys in the top 5. 2 Joe Gibbs Toyotas in the top 6, and then you got the 1 Penske Ford smashed in there. He's the only Ford, in fact, in the top 6. The other 2 are in the top 10. Keselowski was in 9th, and Logano was 10th the last we saw. Blaney's just going wider and wider in this hairpin at the top of the hill. At least he's not getting penalized for it. Which he shouldn't. He's going too far wide. He's already losing a bunch of time by going there. He's definitely not perfect with the shifts right now. Still trying to get used to it. Major power slide as he mashes back onto the throttle. Lap 10 this time by. We'll have 11 laps to go in stage 1. Still caution free tonight. We didn't have a caution in each of the first 2 road course races this season, excluding the stage breaks. We'll have to see if that stays true today at Sonoma as well. Michael Turner, welcome to the stream. Denny GT2 Gaming, welcome to the stream as well. Not as wide that time for Ryan Blaney. Definitely really arcing that corner off. See Chase Elliott in third. He was just getting out of the S's as Blaney was making his way off of that hairpin at the top of the racetrack. Blaney goes from last to first in the opening stage. That would just be huge, considering, for the most part, how clean he got through everybody.
We got about 5 laps of fuel left.
I don't think that's accurate. We have to have more than 5 laps of fuel. Like I said, should be able to make it through stage 1 on fuel, you would think. Blaney's definitely faster than Chase Elliott. I think he's the fastest car in the field. Shame he didn't have the track position and qualified poorly, but he still might win stage 1 anyway. Just said pit 5. The crew chief is not accurate in this game. For anybody that either does or doesn't have this game or is unaware of it, if you haven't watched me play it in the past, the crew chief, we don't even want to listen to that guy. I can check my race notes if I need to in the next couple laps just to see exactly how far I can go on fuel, so that way I don't run out. If I run out, it's over. That'd be a very quick race for you guys. Blaney's best lap is a 138.119. He still has not ran a great lap. You see Kyle Larson and Denny Hamlin too. Blaney is definitely closing in on the top 3. Only 9 laps to go this time by. See, once he catches these cars though, how quickly is he going to be able to pass them as well? Joey Logano is the points leader coming into this one. Him struggling right now in the back half of the top 10. Maybe he gets bumped out and doesn't get any stage points. And Blaney goes on and sweep the stages like he did at Coda. This is going to be not only a massive points day for Ryan Blaney, but he is going to close in quite a bit on Logano in the regular season standings. Just 10 races to go in the regular season following this. And we still have 3 more road courses left in the regular season. Road America in a couple races. Watkins Glen and the Indianapolis road course still to come as well. Blaney is closing on Chase Elliott, and he did not overrun the set of corners that time, and he is all over the back of Elliott as they enter into the S's. And he's just so much smoother. And just like at Coda through the S's. Blaney going to be patient. Mashes back to the throttle, looks to the inside of Elliott for third. Outbreaks him. Will Elliott cross him back over? He looks to the bottom, but he's just not going to get there. Too slow in the center of the corner for Chase Elliott. Blaney beats him not only back to the gas, but through the shifts as well. Blaney up to third. Larson not that much further in front of him. In fact, I think Blaney might have a shot to get to second by the end of this lap. And Denny Hamlin is working in lap traffic right now, so that's definitely slowing him up. You can see the lap cars right around Hamlin as we're at lap 13 and already catching lap traffic. It's just over 2 mile road course with this layout. Yeah, NASCAR not returning to this layout this season. Remember, they'll be running the original, well, I guess not the original layout. This is the original layout, but they'll be running the other layout that we were used to seeing maybe if you watched NASCAR at Sonoma in the early 2000s through the 2010s. Well, the 2000s all the way through the 2010s. So 2019 they used this layout, then they used it again in 2021. Larson and Blaney closing in on Matt Mills in the 55 car, who is in last place right now. Hamlin's already passed him. Didn't even think about catching lap traffic at all here in stage 1. Should have known we were going to catch some cars if it stayed green, and that is the case. Probably because at Coda we didn't catch any lap traffic in the first 2 stages. Road course much longer. Larson got stuck behind Mills. Blaney going to outbrake both the lap car and the 5 of Larson, picking Larson behind Mills, and Blaney's up to P2. 7 laps to go in stage number 1, and Denny Hamlin is only a few car lengths ahead of Ryan Blaney as they work their way uphill. Cody Ware in the 51 car in 39th, right in front of Denny Hamlin. Blaney into the back of him, almost dumped the 11 car. Very little damage to the 12. Not bad, though. Hamlin to the inside of Cody Ware. Big bounce off the curb by the 11, but he clears the 51. Clean pass on him. And now Blaney's going to have to get around him, and he's held up behind Cody. Looks like Chase Elliott's up to 3rd. So he got around Kyle Larson. Larson's still stuck behind Mills. Now Elliott will get around Mills. Blaney clears Cody Ware, and he has to go back to running down Hamlin again. Another Rick Ware car at the rear of the field, Joey Gase. The next lap car that Hamlin and Blaney will have to catch. Blaney closes quickly. I think he's going to have a shot to pass him when they get back down into that U-turn again. But Blaney is all over the back of the 11, off the exit of the S's. And here we go. Hamlin wiggles just a little bit into the braking zone. Blaney with the run to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to try to get around Joey Gase as well, and he does. Bit of a power slide as he works his way back to the gas, but Ryan Blaney leads at Sonoma. Unbelievable. 14 laps to go from last to first on a road course. Ryan Blaney leads his first lap of the day. And for these final 6 laps of stage number 1, he just has to be smooth and pass these lap cars clean and effectively. Working on the 16 car of Kaz Gralla for Cully Racing right now. Bondell Ellery, welcome to the stream. Blaney into the back of Gralla, that's not going to help him. Blaney really needs to keep this car clean. I don't think he's going to risk restarting back in traffic at all. He made it through traffic once, and honestly, for the most part, it was pretty clean. I don't think he can get away with doing that over and over again, so he may just stay out during the stage break, assuming that the rest of the field stays out. It's the problem, though, with being the leader is you won't know until you make that decision first. Seth Thomas, welcome to the stream as well. On the outside of the 78 car, BJ McLeod. Another pass made for position.
We'll be pitting in about 5 laps.
5 laps to go in stage 1. Blaney just took the lead a little over a lap ago from Denny Hamlin as he was able to catch Hamlin in lap traffic. After qualifying in the last place position, 2 bad qualifying laps in session 1 of the session qualifying. What a quick turnaround to still put himself in position to win this opening stage. Taking his time, Behind Josh Bilicki in the 52 car. He's in no hurry. Still about 4 seconds ahead of Hamlin. Works his way to the inside of Bilicki. Bilicki side drafting the 12. As they're trying to stay in the lead lap to the end of the stage, Blaney kind of blows the corner a little bit. Bilicki not quite going to get back underneath him though. 12 car way faster than the 52. Massive run for the 12. Thought about passing the 77, figured he's just going to wait. Now he'll pull out a line, looking to make the pass. Easily done. Slides, almost spins out. Just trying to keep it off the 33 car, still make contact with him. Side by side down into turn 1. Still side by side. Cindric trying to hold on to his lap. Blaney on the bottom in the next corner, and Blaney will clear the 33. These drivers at the tail end of the field going lap down right now, probably not factors in the win, I would have to assume, but I don't know how many DNFs we're going to have. We had quite a few at COTA, if I remember correctly. Definitely had a lot in the Coca-Cola 600. I think we had 9 or 10 drivers fail to finish that race. A lot of heavy hitters in the top 10 of the point standings as well, like Martin Truex Jr., Kyle Busch, even Denny Hamlin DNF, 3 of the 4 Gibbs cars. The only one that finished was Christopher Bell, who ended up losing that race in overtime. Blaney coming in hot. Oh man, just doored the 66 of Timmy Hill. Up the track goes Hill. 3 to go this time by. No, you don't have to pit during the stage breaks. So I don't want to pause it. Pit road closes this time by. So I'm definitely going to check. I'm not going to pass up the points. Going to take the playoff point. Blaney trying to close back in the regular season standings. So definitely not pitting before the stage comes to an end. Blaney and Ryan Newman side by side. Newman squeezes him. Almost into the wall as Newman tries to hold on to his lap. Another block by Newman into turn 1. Newman being Newman right now, trying to hold on as the last car in the lead lap. 30th place. Buying Quinn Houff a little bit of time in 29th. 12's got to get around the 6 eventually, you would think. And he's so much faster than him. Oh, he almost turned him. Newman, a little bounce off the curb. Blaney on the outside. And Blaney charges the next corner, and he'll finally make the pass on the 6 of Newman. Just because it's a road course doesn't mean it's Formula 1 for Express. Definitely not hitting the box this time, by I can tell you that much.
Stay right. Clear all around.
Shouldn't have to repair any damage on pit road. There is minimal damage to the front of the 12 car, but it's obviously not affecting the speed at all. So we don't want to hinder that pit stop and put Blaney back in traffic if the entire field pits. Pit road is closed though right now. Nobody can short pit to the end of the stage without getting penalized at least. Pit road closes when the leader hits 2 laps to go at the start-finish line like Blaney did that time by. So he's only going to lead the final 6 laps of the stage, but he will go on to likely win stage 1. Quinn Houff is the first car 1 lap down. Well, never mind. I forgot that doesn't matter in this game. Forgot there's no free pass. For whatever reason in this game. It doesn't work properly. So I'm not sure who's the last car in the lead lap at 28, trying to luck out right now. And hope that Blaney doesn't run a blistering fast final lap and a half of the stage. Michael Weeks, welcome to the stream. Blaney's definitely going to have to get better in that corner if we get down to any late race restarts in this one. And so far, though, caution-free on the 2 road course races this season. And this one caution-free so far as well. Of course, that's not including the stage breaks, which are mandatory. So we know we'll be getting a restart very soon here. We'll say, though, Blaney's kept the car on the racetrack itself. Used excess pavement at times, really in one specific corner has been about it. Final car on the lead lap is Ross Chastain in the 42. He's quite a ways ahead of Ryan Blaney, but we'll see if Blaney could get him. Final lap of stage 1. There's a car right in front of Chastain as well. That would be the 38 car of Anthony Alfredo. Tyler Reddick in the 8 not having a good run. He's also coming in off a DNF in the last race. The Coca-Cola 600 2 weeks ago. That's how long it's been since the last race on NASCAR 21 Ignition for the final season. A week break last week. Not from the game, but from the season. We had the online lobby last week. Blaney closing. Looping around the bank carousel in the middle portion of the racetrack as he closes in on Ross Chastain. Chastain trying to get away. Anthony Alfredo perhaps in trouble as well as the 42 closes on the 38 even. Blaney doesn't want to spare anybody. Blaney, how risky will he get? Into the S's, charging side by side. That was definitely risky. Not an area of the track you want to go side by side, but Ryan Blaney makes the pass on the much slower 42 of Ross Chastain. Now he closes on the 38 car of Anthony Alfredo as well, and Alfredo might be in danger of going a lap down in 27th place. Blaney going to charge the next corner. He's easily going to get around him, and Tyler Reddick should be able to survive as the last car on the lead lap at the end of stage 1. McDowell right in front of him in 25th. So Ryan Blaney will get another playoff point as he wins stage number 1. 10 regular season points as well. Ryan Blaney wins stage 1. Denny Hamlin finishes 2nd in the stage. Chase Elliott 3rd. Kyle Larson 4th. William Byron rounds out the top 5. Kyle Busch at 6th. Alex Bowman 7th. Austin Dillon 8th. Brad Keselowski 9th. And Joey Logano, the regular season points leader, will round out the top 10. So Blaney going to outscore his teammate Logano by 9 points in stage 1. Take a picture for the stage there. Now we have to decide whether we're going to pit or not. And I'm going to look up on my Google Docs page. I should have done that coming in, but I need to look to see what the fuel window is just to make sure. That's not it. NASCAR. I haven't played this game in a while, so I gotta scroll down the screen a little bit to find it. There it is. 25 laps on fuel. So 25 laps on fuel. Ryan Blaney is going to stay out, keep the track position. I'm going to assume everybody else is going to stay out during the stage break as well. Green flag is back in the air as Ryan Blaney will lead the field to the green. Trying to keep the track position, but Denny Hamlin going to roll off with a good restart. Kyle Larson charging the bottom now. Into turns 2 and 3. He will clear for 2nd. Blaney trying to charge back into turn 4 on Larson. 4 and 5. Blaney will have the bottom into turn 6. That's going to be crucial. One of those heavier braking zones, one of the few passing zones on the racetrack, and he clears Larson off the exit. And into the carousel now as he tries to close in on Denny Hamlin in the 11. Hamlin back into having clean air. He obviously grew out to a big lead at the start of stage 1, but Blaney is trying to put the pressure on him. So these guys, we know Blaney doesn't want to go to lap 25, which would be very shortly. He's going to want to pit within the first few laps of the stage. Just wanted to keep track position so he didn't have to restart at the rear of the field and risk getting in an accident on the restart. Blaney is all over Denny Hamlin. Great passing opportunity coming up next. Blaney gonna look low, charges the corner on the 11. Big dive bomb by the 12. Hamlin gonna try a crossover. Blaney slides the tires but holds the 11 clear off of that second to last corner as they work their way into the kink and back to the start finish line. Blaney will lead the first lap of stage 2. He restarted in the lead. Fell back to third there briefly, but quickly got the lead back. And he's going to have to pit within the next 2 to 3 laps. You can definitely tell everybody else is on older tires, too, because if they would have been on fresh tires, they definitely would have blew around the 12. And maybe there were some drivers that pit. That's one thing I noticed at COTA. I believe there were 2 other drivers that pitted back in that race as well during the stage break. So if anybody stayed out, maybe they have a shot to win the stage. Christopher Bell was one of them, if I remember correctly, and Blaney had to run him down with just a couple laps to go in stage 2. So that may end up happening here as well. There were 27 cars on the lead lap at the end of... 26 cars on the lead lap at the end of stage number 1. So if any one of those drivers hit pit road during the stage break, they're going to have a shot to win this stage, knowing everybody else is going to have to make a stop. We'll see if we get a caution in the middle of green flag stops. We won't have to worry about going a lap down while everybody's still bunched together, especially this early in the stage. In stage 2, same like the stage 1, 20 laps. Final stage will be 50. And that final stage is going to be very close on fuel. So by staying out, it's actually going to be likely one less stop to the end of the race. Because if he pits at the stage break, 25 laps about as far as you can go on fuel at Sonoma. Like I said, that would be pushing it. Blaney's going to stay out this time by. He'll pit at lap 24. That will be the game plan. Blaney will pit at lap 24. He'll likely just pit every 24 laps from here on out. Will be a green flag pit stop next time by. Not this time, but the following time. Denny Hamlin still holding on to second. He's about a second ahead of Kyle Larson, roughly. Now it's going to be all in the hands of the pit crew for the 12 car to try to get him back out in front. We know Hamlin's good on fresh tires. And he's got the best long run car in the field, so this restart with everybody on older tires definitely helped him. I gotta say, on older tires, though, granted he's got clean air and clean traffic in front of him, and at least a few seconds back to Denny Hamlin behind him, so not as much pressure coming from the rear. He's still putting together some really good lap times. He's only dropped about a second off his pace. He's already got about 6 seconds roughly on Denny Hamlin behind him. So then lap 48 will be the second stop early in the final stage. Just saw one car up ahead. Probably the first of the drivers that have hit pit road, Ross Chastain, who just barely went a lap down before the end of the last stage. It's one of the first cars to hit pit road in stage 2. Now we just have to hope for no game blunders when we make this green flag stop as well. Definitely don't want to speed if you're Ryan Blaney in this situation either. He's not able to practice any green flag pit stops. Practice getting down to pit road speed, which I can't remember exactly what it is. I think it's 35 miles an hour. And he's definitely going to creep his way onto pit road. May go less than 30 just to be safe. So Blaney's coming in. Gonna drop it down below 30 miles an hour to the commitment line just to make sure. So Blaney is on pit road, 4 tires and fuel, no adjustments coming up. Is anyone here? Yeah, we're all here. We got 10 of us here. So Blaney in the pits at lap 24. A little bit of damage on the right front, but nothing major. Definitely be staying out of the pits. At the stage break, no adjustments going to be made during the stop as well. William Byron on pit road right now as well. I would assume he probably hasn't made it to his box yet. Unless he beats the 12 off of pit road with a clean stop. I mean, I guess it's possible. Nope, there's his box. So the neon number 24 sign. So one car stayed out on the track. Ryan Blaney will be in second place as he works himself up to speed. You have to be careful these first couple turns on cold tires, but outside of that... Oh god, that scared me. Oh my goodness, I thought the game crashed on me for a second. I had no clue my battery was low on my controller. Alright. Let me plug that in. Oh, well, I'm not kidding. My heart was racing there for a second. I'm like, oh no. I'm glad this game pauses unlike NASCAR Heat. That's, again, one of the few benefits of NASCAR 21 Ignition is it actually pauses like a normal video game when your controller dies. Alright. Let's try not to wreck as soon as I unpause it because I'm in the middle of a corner, though. Whew. Okay. Am I able to do anything here? I think the screen's frozen. I just jammed on the brakes right away. Thank goodness nobody was right behind us. I think Kyle Larson cycled ahead of Denny Hamlin. Tyler Reddick is the race leader. So he was the last car in the lead lap. And he has either stayed out longer than everybody else, or he actually pitted during the stage break, which that would have been great for Reddick to barely hold on to the lead lap to pull this kind of a strategy off. It's going to be way out ahead of Blaney, but Blaney's going to have much fresher... Well, really, Blaney's only got 4 lap fresher tires than Reddick. We know he's got a fast race car. He almost lapped him in the first stage. So we should be able to get him in the final 16 laps in stage 2 as long as we stay green. Caution comes out in the final 5 laps of the stage. You could end the stage prematurely. Made 4 people... My controller dying? No. That's a coincidence. See if Blaney will cycle around Reddick this time. If Reddick is on pit road, but I don't think he's on pit road. I think he pitted during the stage break, kind of like what we saw out of Christopher Bell at Coda in the last race. So Blaney had to come from far back to win stage 1 just because of qualifying poorly, but this time because of pit strategy, he's going to have to try to come back and win stage 2. Good news is he's already in second place, so he's going to have at least 9 points locked up as long as he doesn't have a major mistake. And we do know the top 3 are fast on... Well, the original top 3, Hamlin, Elliott, and Larson, are fast on the short run. So we'll see if Larson and Elliott can run down Blaney at all. It looks like Austin Dillon's in 5th. So Denny Hamlin has lost a lot of spots. He was in second place coming into the pits. And now he isn't even in second place anymore. He's outside the top 5, in fact. And it looks like Joey Logano's outside the top 10 in 11th as we run right now. That's good for Ryan Blaney. Good for really anybody in points, especially Kyle Larson, who's second in the standings. Trying to get back in it on Logano for the regular season championship. Again, every 24 laps will be the strategy for Ryan Blaney as far as when he pits in this race. Maybe more than that if we get any cautions for incident. So far hasn't been the case. Santiago Kid, welcome to the stream. I think Tyler Reddick is that car up ahead that I just saw 2 to 3 turns ahead of Blaney. Should have a battle for the lead within the next couple laps. Even if Reddick doesn't win Stage 2, if he can get stage points out of this, that is going to be a big win for him. Oh yeah, I'm amped up for Bristol Dirt this weekend. Bristol, baby, I'm going back. 3 years in a row, I'll be at Bristol. I'm excited. And Blaney might actually get to Reddick by next lap. Imagine he's going to close on this final corner quite a bit as well. Yeah, he should be able to get Reddick this lap. 4-lap fresher tires again, not going to be much of a difference. Blaney just overall is much faster than Tyler Reddick. Needs to get around him quick though before Larson and Elliott close in any sort of way. There's Blaney all over the back of the 8. And he'll look to pass him right here, right now. Not wasting any time. Little brief bit of contact. That's going to allow Tyler Reddick to hold on to the lead. At least for a brief moment, Blaney charging back on the bottom again. Reddick with a block. Blaney trying to find a way underneath him. Can't do it. Reddick beats Blaney back to the gas. Into the S's. It's where Blaney's at his best. Great set of corners. He closes. And he has a run on the 8. Looks low. And a drag race now. Into the final corner. Blaney coming in hot. Way too hot. He's going to go wide. Reddick's going to try to cross him over as he about got into the right rear of the 12. And Blaney has the lead as they work their way back to the start-finish line at lap 29. Second ever time Ryan Blaney has led today at Sonoma. I'm saving my predictions for Sunday's predictions video at the track. So I don't want to give anything away right now. I think we all know those dirt racing drivers are probably going to be the favorites, though. Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Heck, even Blaney ran well there last year with a torn-up race car. Definitely going to be a survival type of race, I'd have to assume, kind of like last season. Joey Logano won there last year, so maybe he can go back-to-back at Dirt Bristol. Just clarifying down in the chat that that is not the real Alex Bowman. If there's any confusion. I don't know who's joking and who isn't down there. Well, I know the fake Alex Bowman is joking. Oh, Blaney gonna go wide. That was the same corner he missed in qualifying too, which had him qualify at the back. Poor lap he ran. I know fake Alex Bowman is kidding. I know you're not the real Alex Bowman. I may be dumb from time to time, but I'm not that dumb. Blaney gonna blow around his first lap car of the stage. With Blaney being the leader at the beginning of stage number 2 compared to having to come from the back of the field at stage 1, there's a good chance more cars are going to lose their lap in this stage versus in the last stage. I will say, I think Tyler Reddick is going to be able to at least hang on to a top 10 position with just 10 laps to go in stage 2. Big Graves, YouTube, welcome to the stream. Our trivia question will be coming up in the final stage, just to let everybody know for the night of when that trivia question is coming. We'll be just shy of the halfway mark at the end of stage 2, so it'll come pretty early in the final stage of the race. Probably right around when we make our second pit stop of the race. We'll alternate through the different camera angles for the first time in the race today when we get back to the start-finish line this time by as well. So we have not done that yet. And we are halfway through stage number 2. Ryan Blaney trying to sweep the stages at Sonoma just like he did at COTA. It's the only race he's won both stages and got the race win in this season, so he's looking for 2 max points days in the last 3 races. That would be huge for Ryan Blaney. It's a good thing he's looking pretty good on the road courses. He also won a stage at the Daytona road course earlier this season, although he finished pretty poorly towards the back portion of the field that day. He at least got some stage points and had a playoff point that day as well. So there will be 5 stage wins in the first 3 road course races. So 5 of the 6 stages we've had on road courses this year, Ryan Blaney will have won them, assuming he hangs on for the final 9 laps of stage 2. Regine Huddleston, welcome to the stream. 10 likes on the stream right now. Make sure, again, to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Tomorrow night's live stream at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go back to the NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 series, and it will be the Nextel Cup Series custom schedule season at Atlanta. 500-mile race there for the Golden Corral 500. 13 races to go to crowning a champion 12 following the conclusion of tomorrow night's race. It's heating up between Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Greg Biffle. You won't want to miss it.
Got one left.
Well, slides the tires, nearly gets into the side of the 51 of Cody Ware. Ware's just going to let him go into the S's as he was already 1 lap down. So Ware will go a 2nd lap down that time. Blaney thought about going to the inside. He realized he wasn't going to beat the 78 into the corner, so he's just going to get around him on the top side. The slow checkup from the AI in that final corner. And they cut it down to about 20 miles an hour, so Blaney doesn't have to back it down that far. About 35, 40 miles an hour is plenty good enough, even when he goes to the outside to make those passes. And he sits behind one of his teammates, Austin Cindric. Running part-time on NASCAR 21 Ignition, but in NASCAR 22 will be full-time at the 2 for Penske, taking over for Keselowski. Keselowski will be in the 6, taking over for the retired Ryan Newman. And, of course, taking part ownership role as well.
Got one right. Still there.
Blaney underneath the 33, and he'll make the pass.
Clear, 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 clear.
Yeah, I'm hoping Jimmy Johnson has a safe race at Indy in another month, because I don't know if that broken hand's going to be healed fully on time. And that is a fast, dangerous track to be racing on with any sort of injury, so I'm hoping that he has a very safe weekend that week. Don't want to see him get even more hurt.
One left.
And his great deal of crashes this last weekend from what I heard. I saw the replay, at least of his crash in the race. I didn't see the practice crash where he initially hurt his hand, though.
Stay right, stay right.
And you go into the outside. There's a little bit of excess pavement to get around the 00 of Quinn Houff, putting Houff his 2nd lap down now. Still hasn't caught up to the 26th place car yet. It looks like Eric Jones is in 26th. Almirola in 25th, right in front of him. Those are the last 2 cars on the lead lap. Still almost 6.5 more laps yet in stage 2. Very good chance those guys are going to go a lap down. It's going to be interesting to see how many cars exactly will be a lap down by the end of the 2nd stage. We know Hamlin and Larson put up a fight on that initial restart with Ryan Blaney, so we'll see what the start of stage number 3 will have for us. Same thing may happen there. Blaney coming in hot.
Clear, clear, clear.
Way down to the bottom underneath the 52 of Josh Bilicki.
One left, one left.
Side by side into the S's right now with Bilicki. He didn't want to
Still next to you.
let Blaney go like Cody Ware did earlier.
Clear, clear, clear.
Blaney makes a clean pass. And there's the last car on the lead lap, Eric Jones.
Car right.
Blaney almost making contact with him.
Clear, clear. Clear, clear, clear.
Going to be Jones back to the gas.
Clear, clear.
Clears him with a clean pass. And the kink, and now down into turn 1 they go. There's Almirola. Ryan Newman, who's already 1 lap down at 30th in front of the 10.
Clear, clear, clear. One left.
Blaney going to go to the outside on the 10 car.
Clear all around. One left. Clear all around.
And Blaney gets sucked into the sand. Actually kind of kissed that padded wall out there, but luckily He did not blow a tire. It's the first time he's hit the wall at all today. Anywhere on the racetrack. It's the third time he's gone off into the sand or dead grass off on the edge of the racetrack. He has to get back around the 43 car of Eric Jones, which he does quickly. Jones back to being a lap down again. Still haven't had a caution for incident yet today.
Stay left, all clear.
Then he blows around Almirola. Now Eric Almirola is the first car lap down at 25th, leaving Cole Custer in the 41 car for Stuart Haas Racing. Another SHR car outside the top 20. He is the last car in the lead lap. Alfredo in front of Custer is already one lap down. He's actually the first car lap down at the end of the last stage. Blaney is going to miss this corner now. Let's get back out onto the racetrack. And he back around Ryan Newman again. A lot more lap cars coming up. Ken Custer, the last one in the lead lap for right now. Christopher Bell in the 20, who had a great run at COTA 2 races ago, and also had a great run at the Coke 600. He led the most laps in that race. En route to a 3rd place finish, I believe. He does have multiple wins this season as well. But he is not having a great run early on today. And is likely going to go lap down before the end of stage 2 unless he gets a quick yellow that ends the stage prematurely. Blaney coming in hot. Out into the sand. And again, first time in that corner though. And Custer's back on the lead lap. That's going to buy some of those cars at the edge of the lead lap like Bell, Wallace, LaJoy a little bit more time. Blaney again going off the track. My goodness. I think he's definitely struggling on old tires. Definitely pushing a little too hard. Again, trying to get around the 41. Blows by him. Christopher Bell still in 23rd. He couldn't really get away much, and we still have 3 laps to go this time by. I think Bell is going to be a sitting duck at some point. So is Bubba Wallace. LaJoy in 20th is going to be hit or miss. I think that's going to be about borderline of who might be able to still stay on the lead lap to the end of stage 2. Remember what Tyler Reddick was able to do at the end of stage 1 for track position? He pitted, everybody else stayed out. He was the last car in the lead lap at the end of stage 1, and last we knew of, he was still in 2nd place. I mean, if he gets any stage points at stage 1, I don't think he was going to be able to drive from 27th back up there. Heck, at this point, he might have been at risk of going a lap down in this stage. Not really the case anymore. Definitely going to finish on the lead lap. I'd have to assume that he's probably going to end up pitting again after stage 2. Blaney closing on Bell. He's got a massive run. He's going to pull out a line looking to make the pass.
One left.
Down on the bottom, side by side. Clean racing between the 20 and the 12 that time. Blaney is clear. Blaney bringing out a caution to bring overtime into the picture. Oh, and Bell squeezes Blaney trying to get back on the lead lap. Into the set of corners where Blaney is usually better.
Still next to you. Still there.
Door-to-door, wheel-to-wheel action. Blaney clear again.
Got one right. All
Can go a bit wide. Bell gets back around him.
All clear.
Bell charging on the 23 of Bubba Wallace, but it's Blaney down on the bottom lane, who gets by the 20 and the 23 that time. And now they're both a lap down as Blaney was able to hold it on the bottom. He didn't drift up into the side of him that time. Most of the passes he's made in that corner today has been on the outside, but he's made a few on the bottom throughout the course of the race when he has to. Like in that situation where he just could not pass up the run. Looks like Joey Logano's back to 15th now. He's definitely not going to go lap down before the end of this stage. Closing in on about a lap and a half to go in stage number 2. Trying to find who maybe... I'm not really finding anybody yet.
Got one right. Got one right. All clear.
Looks like Daniel Suarez in 19th. Whoever's in 21st would be the last car on the lead lap, but I haven't seen who that is yet. See a car up here, but I believe that's Justin Haley in 27th. Yeah, I don't know what Hamlin's issue was at Martinsville this weekend. He was just really slow. And he was outside the top 25 almost all day.
Clear, clear. Clear, clear.
On any track, that would be concerning as a Denny Hamlin fan, but on one of his best tracks, it's even more concerning. I know he just won Richmond the week before, but he's still outside the top 20 in the actual driver standings this season, even with that win. That win is still his only top 10 in the first 8 races now. Chris Buescher, by the way, is in 17th, and he is the next car ahead of Ryan Blaney with about a half a lap to go in Stage 2. Blaney's going to be on his way to sweeping the stages tonight. It'll be his 5th stage win on a road course this season. He'll sweep the stages for the 2nd time on a road course, and not only that, it'll be the 2nd race this season in which he will sweep stages 1 and 2. This is going to be really close. Blaney charging hard, maybe a little too hard. That's going to buy Buescher a little bit of time. Corey LaJoie in 20th, not that far in front of Buescher as well. Blaney's really good in the S's. Look at how much he closes on Chris Buescher in the 17. Pushing hard. Gets into the right rear of Buescher. Looking to make the pass, and he does. And out of the outside of the 7 of LaJoie, and LaJoie will go a lap down in 20th as well. So 19th of Daniel Suarez will be the last car in the lead lap at the end of Stage 2. Corey LaJoie will go a lap down off the final corner, and Ryan Blaney will win Stage 2 at Sonoma. What is that question in the chat? Whose shards of glass play NASCAR 21 Ignition for the next 5 years? Well, that first one sounds lethal, so I'm going to go with the second one if I have to. Either way, I'd be going mentally insane. I think we could all agree on that if we were all put in that same predicament with those two choices. Ryan Blaney wins stage number 2 again today, obviously scoring more stage points than anybody else. The driver to sweep both stages in this one. And also for Ryan Blaney, we're going to check how many stage wins that gives him now on the season. That is stage wins number 8 and 9 on the season for Ryan Blaney, so that is great for him, giving him now 420 points. Nice on the season. 34 playoff points, and we'll see if he can add more playoff points to that total as well as race points as well today. Kyle Larson finishes second in stage 2. Chase Elliott third in stage 2. Tyler Reddick in fourth. Great call for him pitting during that stage break. They got him a top 5 stage finish. 7 points needed for him here today. He's on the bubble right now from trying to get into the playoffs. Tyler Reddick's teammate Austin Dillon finishes 5th. Denny Hamlin fell back to 6th after green flag pit stops. Alex Bowman 7th. Kyle Busch 8th. William Byron 9th. And Martin Truex Jr. rounds out the top 10 in stage 1. Now I need to find my phone so I can take a picture of the stage 2 results. I can't find my phone anywhere. There we go. I've got it now. So Ryan Blaney going to stay out during the stage break once again. And here we go. Into, oh gosh, stage 2. My hand got tangled around my headphone there for a second when I grabbed the controller. Was out of the gas a little bit longer than I wanted to in turn 1, but I had to get that fixed. Luckily, Blaney didn't get ran over from behind. And Kyle Larson got a great jump off the restart, much like Denny Hamlin on the last restart. Larson's time to shine right now, but Blaney is going to keep the pressure on him on this opening lap. 50 laps in the final stage. Should be 2 pit stops with the drivers who did not pit during the stage break, potentially only 1 stop for anybody who may have pit during the stage break. I know Reddick did not pit that time, keeping his track position in 4th. Kyle Larson's holding on pretty strong right now. See how strong he's going to be in the back half of this lap. Blaney had a big slide and Larson really pulled him. But Blaney charges into the S's and he closes right back on the 5. Massive run coming now for the 12. Bounce off the curb by Larson. Blaney going to pull out of line, looking to make the pass. On the 5. The 5 gives up the bottom. Blaney is in the lead. And he will lead the opening lap of the final stage tonight at Sonoma. Now alternate through the camera angles. I didn't do that in stage 2 like I said I would, so I do that for quite a few more laps yet today. We'll do it for the first time right now. Again, lap 48 will be the scheduled second pit stop for Ryan Blaney. We're only 6 laps away, 7 actually. 7 laps away from Ryan Blaney making his green flag stop. We'll probably see some other drivers pit just before that. Derek Booth, welcome to the stream. Blaney with a power slide. I know he can't wait to get fresh tires back on this race car again. He actually had to lift quite a bit there to keep the car from wanting to spin out on him. Definitely pulling away from Larson after taking the lead back off the finishing corner on that opening lap after the restart. Blaney hasn't nailed the restart initially today. If we do get a late caution for incident, which again, we haven't seen a caution for incident yet today or on a road course this season. This is the 3rd road race of the year, but we'll see. It's definitely one way Blaney could lose this race. 2 more pit stops as well, so he's going to have to make sure he doesn't speed when he hits pit road later on these last 2 stops. He'll end up pitting on lap 48, and then he'll end up pitting again at lap 72. Those will be the final 2 stops for Ryan Blaney today. Unless we get a caution before 72 to go where they're within the window. That would be 18 laps to the end on fuel. He's been able to go 24 today, so as long as the caution comes out with 24 or less laps to go, Blaney will definitely end up hitting pit road. If he didn't already make his final stop. Cue the duck. We're not quite halfway yet. We got a few more laps. I think we're going to wait until we get through the next pit stop first, though, so I can try to make sure I focus and don't accidentally speed. Then, after Blaney makes the second pit stop, we'll have the trivia question of the night. Little kiss. Second time Blaney is even lightly just got into the wall. He's got to be careful not to blow a tire. He's not within that official pit time yet. And definitely can't have himself make a mistake. A 3-stop race, you don't want to make it a 4-stop race. I have 2 trivia questions that I'm probably going to end up asking you guys tonight as well. So we were supposed to get the 2 trivia questions on another stream a while back because I forgot them during a Busch race. I never got the chance to do it, so I think tonight's going to be the 2-question night for trivia. We'll ask the first one in a few laps after after Ryan Blaney pits. And then we'll ask another one a little bit later in the race, right around the final stops. Ryan Blaney working through the shifts, working the throttle, working the brakes. Definitely getting a very good look at when exactly Blaney's been shifting for most of the night, or at least when he's supposed to be. With this camera angle. Definitely not a camera angle I'd want to run the whole race without a rear view mirror, I'll tell you that much. It's hard enough with the far chase cam without a rear view mirror. I couldn't imagine with this camera without a rear view. It's fine for right now, obviously, with no traffic around the 12 car. Down to first gear for the only time on a lap-to-lap basis, and he even runs through second gear through there sometimes just to try to keep from spinning the tires. There you see the damage on the right front corner panel. That was back from stage 1 when he got into Kyle Busch. And Alex Bowman a couple times working his way through the field. So you guys asking trivia questions out in the chat. I haven't had much of a time to read. Road courses and short tracks, you guys know down in the chat, are the hardest for me to try and read the chat as much as possible. Super speedways at times, but just constantly turning on the road courses and short tracks, and especially on short tracks, you're just constantly in traffic. So sorry if I'm not always on top of it on these style of racetracks. But I do my best. We have a mile and a half tomorrow on NASCAR 05, so maybe it'll be a little bit easier. Ross Chastain is in last place, scored right now. Ryan Blaney closing in on him. Look to make the pass into turn 1. Chastain's so far off because he's already made his final pit stop of the stage. Closing back on the 12 car, maybe a little contact that time into turn 2. Chastain having those little bit fresher tires even at the rear of the field where he's at right now. He's having a tough time. Or giving Blaney, I should say, a tough time. Why is it called the apron? I have no clue. I always wonder that because when you're talking about, I don't know why it's called the apron. But when you're on like the actual highway, it's called the shoulder. So I never understood why it wasn't just called the shoulder. Unless the apron was the first terminology and then we started using shoulder in our roadway terminology. I have no clue. So some cars pitted the lap before, more cars pitting right now. Ryan Blaney's definitely going to be on his way into pit this time by, as we are in lap 4 or at lap 48, the scheduled second stop of the day for Ryan Blaney. Blaney going to go a bit wide off into the sand. One car closing in from behind right now. It'll be Eric Jones in the 43 trying to get a lap back after he just came off of pit road. He's definitely going to get it back within the next half lap anyway. Dirt Bristol for the Cup Series is going to be 250 laps. Man, Blaney going wide again. 43 car just going to get right around him. Sliding the tires. Then he's getting passed right now by these cars at the back of the field because he has much older tires compared to them by about 24 laps. But Blaney's going to be getting fresh tires of his own this time by.
Clear, clear, clear.
And into the pits goes Ryan Blaney.
Clear all around. The leader's in the pit.
He is in 31 miles an hour. Pit road speed is 40. So 40 mile per hour pit road speed. Ryan Blaney will be in his box. He's got the first box on entry to pit road. Second pit stop of the night. One more still to go in this final stage. It'll be at approximately lap 72. Clean stop by the number 12 team once again. We'll have our first of 2 trivia questions tonight on the stream, so get ready to answer down in the chat below. Dark Crypto, welcome to the stream as well. Tonight's first of 2 trivia questions is, there are 4 drivers who have started on the pole and have won a race at Sonoma. Name 3 of those 4 drivers. Again, there are 4 drivers who have won at Sonoma from the pole. Name 3 of the 4 drivers. I think William Byron might have been one of the cars who pitted during the stage break. It might have been the lone car to pit during the stage break this time because he is the race leader right now. And Ryan Blaney's trying to run him down. I'll give you the answer to that question at lap number 55. So you have until lap 55 before I give you guys the answer to that trivia question. And if I see the answer down in the chat below, I will let you guys know ahead of that. But that's the deadline. The little damage on the hood is, on the right front specifically, is from getting into the back of both the 48 and the 18 in stage 1 when Blaney was working his way through traffic after qualifying at the rear of the field. Because of a couple bad qualifying laps in that session qualifying run. But he is quickly closing on Byron. He probably has about 8 lap fresher tires on him, assuming Byron pitted during the stage break. So the 12 is closing fast. And he has a massive run right now to the back of the 24 car. And he's going to dart to the bottom looking to make the move. And easily going to make the pass. I think Byron actually came onto pit road that time. So maybe Byron didn't pit during the stage break and he just decided to stay a lap longer on the track, and I think that's what the case was. So Byron stayed out 1 lap longer, long enough for him to lead a lap. It was his first lap led of the race today. Jeff Gordon, Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson. I will say you got 2 of those right. Or sorry, no, you got 1 of those right. My bad. Hang on, let me pause it real quick. Let me double check. Yeah, to rephrase. Yeah, you only got 1 of those right. I was gonna say. I'm not gonna tell you which one though. Because you guys only have to name 3 of the 4 to get tonight's trivia question right. Did you hear somebody hit the wall? I didn't hear anybody hit the wall. Oh. Forgot where I was on the track for a second when I unpaused it. Downshifted when I was supposed to upshift. Didn't spin the tires too bad though. Jeff Gordon was right. I think Derek Booth was very confident with Jeff Gordon being right. Yeah, Jeff Gordon actually qualified. He's the only driver to qualify on the pole and win more than once at Sonoma. He qualified on the pole, won at Sonoma 3 times. The other 3 drivers of the 4 on this list only did it once. Yeah, it's the shifting. It's not somebody hitting the wall, if you guys were wondering. It's also the gas pedal being smashed and the brake pedal as well. That's the other clicking noises you may be hearing. Gordon, Hamlin, Stewart. Nope. Only one anybody's ever gotten so far is Jeff Gordon. Again, you guys have till lap 55. 4 drivers have qualified on the pole and have won at Sonoma. You have to name 3 of them. Try not to cheat, of course, down to the chat. That is the first of 2 trivia questions tonight. Hey, you got to meet Jeff Gordon when you were 12? That's pretty cool. I don't think I remember walking past him when I was in Daytona. I don't think I remember seeing any retired drivers when I was at Daytona this weekend. Not that I recognize, at least. They're all current drivers that I either walked past or said hello to. Of the ones I got a response back from, I think I got a response back from everybody, if I'm thinking right. Now, there was one person who did not give me a response back, and I cannot remember for the life of me. But out of the Cup Series garage, Almirola, Bell, Chastain, I know for a fact. Chastain was the only one that actually looked me in the eye, and I said more than good luck, and then he was like, thanks, and then I forget what else he said. I remember it was more than just that. I think he was signing autographs to the person next to me, so. He might have said something about the car being fast or something like that after that. It was something very brief, but. And who else? Who else did I walk past? And I'm forgetting a major one right now, and I can't remember. I want to say Truex, maybe? I know my dad got a picture with Logano. I don't think I really walked past him. I know my dad did. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. There was like 3 or 4 of them, though. Hamlin, I don't know where he qualified. He was outside the top 10, though. He was definitely outside the top 10 in qualifying. Oh, wow, Blaney going really wide. Just completely forgot the downshift going into turn 3. This didn't hurt him too much. Jeff Gordon, Jimmy Johnson, Kyle Larson. Kyle Larson is the second. Sorry I didn't get to you sooner on that one. I just saw the answer down in the chat. So Kyle Larson and Jeff Gordon are 2 of the 3 you guys have got. I mean, you guys are kind of working collectively as a unit. I'm not going to change the rule on you now with the question. I probably should have just had you guys name all 4. I feel like you guys are working collectively as a unit. As you get one right, they're getting knocked off, but Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon are 2 of them. Larson, of course, last season he had started on the pole and won. Blaney's going to be getting into lap traffic for the first time with the cars on the normal pit sequence in stage 3 at least very shortly. Quinn Houff is going to be the first car he's going to catch, who's already 2 laps down. I believe that was Houff in 34th up ahead. Chase Elliott, by the way, is up to second. That's where he finished in real life in 2021 at Sonoma last season. He has not won here in his NASCAR Cup Series career. It's the only road course he has not won at in the NASCAR Cup Series. Multiple wins at the Charlotte Roval, Watkins Glen, 1 win at Road America last year. Daytona Road Course's inaugural Cup date, he got a win as well. Won the first ever race at COTA for the Cup Series, but he has not won at Sonoma. Or the Indianapolis Road Course, but he's only had 1 race there. Sonoma, he's been racing at his entire Cup Series career, still has not got the job done, but he's finished second at least once. We know that Blaney struggled that first lap after the restarts. If we get a late caution and Chase Elliott's the one to get track position on a late race restart, maybe he won't be able to give it up quite as easily as, say, Hamlin or Larson did on the first 2 restarts in this race. Dale Sr. is not it either. You guys have less than a lap to try and figure it out. One more time. Tonight's trivia question was 4 drivers have qualified, or I should say have started on the pole and have won a Cup race at Sonoma. Name at least 3 of them. You guys got Jeff Gordon, Kyle Larson so far. Let's see if you guys can name 3. Maybe you guys name them both. Yeah, I saw Ty Gibbs was fined 15 grand. And he's going really wide. Sitting right behind James Davison in the 15 car right now. Looking to get around the Aussie. A little bit of contact with him. It's not Tony Stewart. Somebody else guessed Stewart earlier. Jimmy Johnson was also guessed earlier. Hamlin was guessed, I believe. Kyle Busch was guessed. Mark Truex Jr. is a good guess, but that is not it either. He actually qualified second when he won his most recent Cup race at Sonoma. But he did not qualify first. Biffle never won on a road course in his Cup career. Keselowski's never won at Sonoma. It's lap 56. I think I got to give you guys the answer to the question. Again, tonight's trivia question. First of 2. We'll have another trivia question a little bit later. I promised you guys we would get 2 in a stream last week. Didn't do it, so I'm doing it tonight. But in the first trivia question tonight, I asked you guys who are the 4 drivers. Name 3 of the 4 drivers who have started on the pole and have won a Cup Series race at Sonoma. You guys guessed Kyle Larson, which was last season, 2021. Blaney goes wide. Losing track time, getting back up onto the surface. Did a good job keeping it off the wall. So again, Kyle Larson did it last season, started on the pole. Jeff Gordon, you guys also had gotten correctly. He has done it 3 times. The only driver to do it more than once. Of course, most notably known for winning 3 in a row in the 90s back at Sonoma Raceway. And the other 2 drivers, Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace. Or sorry, Mark Martin, not Rusty Wallace. I lied with that one. Mark Martin and Ernie Irvan were the only other 2 drivers to win a Cup race from the pole at Sonoma. So Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Ernie Irvan. Would have never guessed that. I was wondering if somebody was going to get Mark Martin. He was pretty good on road courses back in the 80s and 90s. Oh, jeez. In the back of Timmy Hill. Laney just can't get around him right now. I'm getting my rematch of the Universal title at Backlash. Because I couldn't win it at WrestleMania. I couldn't even show up at WrestleMania. Make up some stupid lie that like Brock Lesnar took my spot or something. He took my spot in the match. I was supposed to be the one to face Roman Reigns. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 19th place, last car in the lead lap as of right now. Blaney gonna outbreak the 47 car. Stenhouse looking for a crossover, but really nowhere close to trying to pull off the crossover move. Blaney is blowing Stenhouse in the dust right now. Still relatively early in the final stage, not quite halfway done in this stage. I know. Rubbing it in my face. Red Sox beat the Tigers today. The Tigers put up a fight. They were down 7-1 in the fourth. They gave up 6 runs in the fourth inning. I still have not watched the Tigers game yet this year. I had a chance to watch it last Sunday and I didn't. The main reason I didn't watch it when I got to the stream is because I saw they were losing big. They ended up losing 10-1, so that's why I didn't watch it. And I haven't had a chance to watch it any other days because I've been at work. Or Monday night, they played at night instead of during the day. Like the other 2 games in the series. Black Ace, welcome to the stream. Yep, Ryan Blaney, first place right now. And Ryan Blaney also won Stage 1 and Stage 2. Chase Elliott is in second, trying to run him down. Because of the jacked up leaderboard, we're unaware of exactly how far back Chase Elliott is. As long as Blaney keeps getting through lap traffic as cleanly as he is, he's obviously led the most laps in this race today. He's had the best long run car. It's going to be his race to lose. But plenty of time to make a major mistake, which he has not done yet today. No penalties either. Like to keep it that way. 32 laps still to go. And one more pit stop left in this one, which will be right around lap 72 for Blaney, and another 13 to 14 laps. And he charging hard, gets into the side of Justin Haley.
Clear. Got one left. Still next to you. Clear. One left. Clear.
Oh my goodness. It's so easy to get sucked off the end of the track right there. As soon as you get the right side tires up over the lip on the high side, or the transition from the banking, then it runs into, say, straight downhill run into that dead grass. That's the 4th time Blaney's gone wide in that corner today. Went wide in another corner on 2 occasions as well. So 6th time he's gone off into the grass.
One left.
I think he's going to blow right back around Cole Custer, putting Custer 2 laps down. Daniel Suarez in 18th is the last car in the lead lap as we run. Still no caution for incident today. Blaney hoping it stays that way. Yeah, road trip for the first time this year for the Tigers. Not doing so hot right now. We're 2-4. That was after winning opening day too, so we're actually 1-4 in our last 5 games. Brake pedal's getting a little worn out or something. He's been missing that corner every now and then throughout the course of the race, but the last few laps he has missed it pretty badly. It's mistakes like that which will allow Chase Elliott to pull in. Try to reel in that 12 car. Blaney gonna go wide again! Lightly kisses the wall. Again, very fortunate to not do more damage to the race car. I get the tires are older at this point in the run. He's got about 14 to 15 laps on him, but he really needs to just kind of hone it back in. 30 laps to go. He doesn't have any pressure from behind on him. He's just missing his marks, getting out of rhythm. Needs a solid points day today, a chance to sweep the stages and win the race for the second time in the last 3 races, and the second time on the season. Remember, points leader Joey Logano outside the top 10 at the end of stage 2. Still on the lead lap right now, but I'm unaware of exactly where he's running. And he on the outside of the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Undercuts the exit to the corner. Can't get alongside Wallace that time. He'll pull out of line. Wallace maybe taking the line away from the 12 just a little bit. Contact between the two. Wallace going a bit wide, and that's going to allow Blaney to pull clear. $17 likes on the stream. Thank you for everybody hitting that like button tonight. Subscribe again for more daily NASCAR content, live realistic commentary in this one. It's been all Ryan Blaney all race long. By far has had the fastest car in the field. He had to come from behind in stage 1. Not so much in stage 2 though. Led all but a couple laps in that stage. And he has led all but 1 lap in the final stage. The only lap he has not led in this final stage so far through the first 22 laps was because William Byron stayed out 1 lap longer off of pit road and was able to get 1 lap led. No bonus points for laps led though, like in our NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005 series. I was looking at the chat that time when I went wide. Need to concentrate. Remember, Ryan Blaney cost himself a top 5 day in the Coca-Cola 600 as well, and went from a top 5 day to finishing outside the top 20. Costed him a lot of points there. At least he's got a chance to get some back. As Ross Chastain goes for a big slide in the carousel right in front of the 12 car. I thought he was going to spin out there for a second. Allows Blaney to work himself around the 42 though. Into the next heavy braking zone. Blaney gonna push a little bit too far. Chops back off on the 42 though.
Got 1 left. Clear, 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 clear.
Do a medium question about NASCAR. You talking about for the next trivia question? It'll be a little bit for the next one yet. Next one will be easier. I gotta make it challenging though on you guys too at the same time. See if anybody gets it. You guys can't just get it right all the time within the first 5 seconds. That won't be any fun. Make you guys brainstorm, make you guys think a little bit. And he outbreaks Matt Mills in the 55 car. I think that's the 3rd or 4th lap Mills has lost in this one. So he remains in last place. All 40 cars still on the racetrack though right now. Probably another reason why we are still caution free. Made your 4 guesses in the trivia. Oh, no, we already answered the question. A little late on that, Santiago kid. The answer to the question earlier was Kyle Larson, Jeff Gordon, Mark Martin, and Ernie Irvin were the 4 drivers. You guys had to name 3 of the 4 drivers who started on the pole and won a cup race at Sonoma. I'm surprised it hasn't been more. I've been racing there for 30 years, 31 now. 31 Cup Series races at Sonoma, and only 4 times a driver started on the pole and won. But the road course being very heavy on track position and NASCAR in general, and I always felt like that was really the case at Sonoma too. It was always harder seemingly to pass there than at Watkins Glen of the 2 road courses they raced for the longest time in the Cup Series. But only 4 times though it's happened. And Daniel Suarez going to go a lap down. Off the exit of the carousel, now just 17 cars on the lead lap. We'll have 26 laps to go this time by. Blaney continues to dominate as he power slides back into the throttle. Drift car action. And he's about 8 laps away from making his 3rd and final pit stop of tonight's race. Probably about as heavy of lap traffic as Blaney has had to endure in this race so far as well. There's the points leader, Joey Logano, in danger of going a lap down in 16th, and Blaney's going to lap him before the start-finish line. So now if we do get a late race yellow, Logano's going to be trapped a lap down. That is problematic for the 22. Blaney was 8th in points coming into the race today. Didn't lose a spot in the standings after that rough finish in the Coke 600 due to all the points he was able to score the race before that at COTA. He has a chance of moving up inside and above the top 8 in the standings following today's race, the way things are going so far.
Clear. Stay left.
Kind of almost got back underneath him. Close call. Blaney alongside teammate Brad Keselowski.
Clear.
Keselowski on the bottom. Blaney trying to undercut the corner, but just has to fall in line behind the 2. Trying to desperately beat him back to the gas, and he does. Side by side in the S's. Keselowski just going to let his teammate and the race leader go. Now Brad is the first car, 1 lap down. Kevin Harvick, final car in the lead lap at 14th. Who won the first race at Sonoma and how? Wasn't it Ricky Rudd? Well, Ricky Rudd got it taken away from him, I think. Was that the race at Sonoma? Rudd made a bump and run in the final corner, but they took it away from him. It's like the only time in NASCAR history I could ever remember a win getting taken away from somebody because of a bump and run. Oh, man, McDowell blocking the heck out of Ryan Blaney right now. 1 car on pit road. It's Tyler Reddick in the 8. Oh, and McDowell just got into the inside wall in turn 1. And never mind, McDowell is on the lead lap at 12th. He's really charged forward. He was 25th at the end of stage 1 earlier. Got my car a little bit faster, but not fast enough to stay on the lead lap. Hasn't broken the top 10 yet. I was correct. I can't remember who won though. I don't think Ricky Rudd won the race. I thought they took it away from him. Was it Davey Allison who won it? I'm thinking Davey Allison might have won that race. Or was it Terry Labonte? I can't remember who won. I just remember Ricky Rudd getting the win taken away from him. Can you imagine if they did that nowadays in NASCAR, how much of an uproar it would be? Do you imagine if they had social media back in 1989 when that happened? Be a feeding frenzy. Byron trying to throw a block on Blaney into the S's. Another reason why you probably shouldn't go side by side to that area of the racetrack. Davey won. Okay, I was right then. I was right on my first try. Said I think Davey Allison won. I was right. Man, I got all of it right about that. I knew the first race was in 89 because it's been 31 races there. Don't forget, Regan Smith won. He did win the Southern 500. He should have won that year at Talladega in 2008, too. Say what you will, but he got forced below the double yellow line by Stewart.
Clear, clear.
A lot of people were complaining about Denny Hamlin winning at Talladega a couple years ago. Honestly, I don't think it was an illegal move, to be completely honest. I thought he was avoiding an accident. Being there in person, it looked like they were wrecking off in turn 4. So I don't blame Denny Hamlin for going below the double yellow line to win. I think the big fault I have with NASCAR is just being consistent with the call is the big thing. I think people base it off of, prior history, which they probably should. But then you also base it off of the history of that weekend. The way they called the end of the truck race that weekend. Kind of similar, where they black flagged the driver who forced the other driver below the double yellow line like they did with DiBenedetto, and Hamlin, and Byron were safe. But Regan Smith definitely got forced below the double yellow line that year in 2008. Yeah, Regan Smith should have 2 career cup wins. Who knows though? Maybe if he won that race, that would have jump-started him into even better equipment. Couple laps away from Ryan Blaney making his 3rd and final pit stop of the race. It'll be another 4-tire stop. They'll top off on fuel, and he'll have about 18 laps to go when he cycles off the pit lane. Less than the length of either stage 1 or stage 2. Coming in hot. I don't think he's gone wider than what he did in that corner all day today until just now. We won't have to race on this old of tires again the rest of this race. With this being the final season, it'll be the last time at Sonoma on NASCAR 21 Ignition, at least for the full race live streams. We had a great race here in the online lobby last week. A lot of cars peeling off onto pit road right now. Chase Briscoe wheel hopping it as he was downshifting, trying to get to minimum pit road speed. Austin Cindric loses another lap. Martin Truex Jr. is on pit road as well as Chase Briscoe. 69 of 90. Blaney will pit at lap 72. It'll be 3 24-lap runs and then an 18-lap stint to end the race. And if we get a caution after he makes his final stop, he is already committed to staying out of the pits. I would imagine the rest of the field will probably stay out as well. Maybe see some drivers pit. We have seen a driver pit during a stage break today. Tyler Reddick pit during the stage 1 break, but nobody pitted during stage 2's break.
Clear, clear, clear. Stay left.
I'm pitting at lap 72 just to be safe. I could pit now and be like 3 laps to the good still. If I really wanted to, but I'll wait just in case we blow a tire or something if we make contact heavily with somebody or
Got one right.
get into the wall so we don't have to make an extra stop and potentially cost ourselves the race. Definitely going to have to run a much cleaner final 18 laps, and Picker's going to have to be on it as well. He Blaney going off course again. It hasn't been a perfect drive for Ryan Blaney today. I think a lot of it is not doing a full race on this game in a couple weeks. No practice, and we only had the 2 laps of qualifying because I failed to make it to session 2. But he definitely had a perfect car, if not a perfect day. It's Kyle Larson in 5th place as of right now after coming out of pit road. Ryan Blaney on old tires, of course Larson on fresher tires. Interesting to see if the 12 is going to be able to keep pace with them for the next couple laps before Blaney pits. Much better of a drive off Larson's able to get. And he's still getting through the shifts pretty good though. Michelle Marie Kate Miller, welcome to the stream. Blaney coming in hot. He gets into Larson.
All clear.
I don't think Larson appreciated that. Then on older tires just blew the corner right into the side of the 5 car. Larson just the innocent bystander and all that. Blaney nearly spins out. Two laps away and he'll be changing tires. You won't have to go this far on the final set. He'll actually go about 6 laps less than what he's going now on the final set. It shouldn't be as bad as he's struggling to keep the car on the track, as we've obviously seen over the last 5 or 6 laps. Looking like a drunk driver out here. It's like I'm doing everything in my willpower to try and throw this race away. I think Chase Elliott in 2nd has already made a stop. I can't get the car slowed up there. I felt like I backed up the corner that time. Still got to stay in front of Larson, who closes the gap quite a bit again. And he's going to push it one more lap on these tires. And he'll bring it in. It's 19 laps to go, 18 when he comes off of pit road. Larson going to get back on the lead lap, as well as a lot more drivers back behind. In the top 11 were on the lead lap before Ryan Blaney is going to pit. I should say that before the first set of drivers hit pit road about 4 or 5 laps ago to start the green flag pit stops right around lap 67 and 68. Yeah, it's just a game that has the car smoke. If you're under 100 miles an hour in this game, the car smokes. It's not like I'm locking the tires up or spinning the tires like that, causing the smoke. It's just the game itself. It didn't do it that time. I don't know why it does that. Even NASCAR Heat 5 did that too. And he's slowly gapping Larson, though, even on these older tires. That's what's super insane about it. Blaney will pit this time. 40 miles per hour is the pit road speed limit. Down to the commitment line he goes, and he is in. Wanted to make sure he wasn't going to speed with a gigantic lead, and he did not. Third and final stop of the day for the 12 team. 4 tires and fuel, and again, no adjustments as they have not made any since the start of the race. Actually, even when the race started, they didn't make any adjustments on the race car. It's been smooth sailing for the NOF number 12 team. So 18 laps to go when he comes off the pit road. This is the third and final stop of the day once again. Clean stop, pretty fast and efficient at that as well. And 18 more laps to pay dirt for Ryan Blaney to just run smoothly and stay out of trouble. And he'll have this race won. Obviously, he's going to have to hope that we don't get a caution. Again, we have not had one for incident on a road course this season, which would obviously include today. Didn't mean to alternate through the camera angles there. I pressed R1 to upshift, even though I've been shifting with triangle and circle the whole race. Manual shifting. Austin Dillon, last car in the lead lap in 9th. So Ryan Blaney actually cycled ahead of Reddick and Kyle Busch in 10th and 11th. They were the last couple cars on the lead lap prior. But not anymore. Now it's Austin Dillon. Daniel Suarez is up to 8th, but I don't think Suarez is pit yet. Because he was in 18th at one point, 1 lap down. So Suarez may be pitting very soon. Blaney coming in hot. Closes on Dillon. Actually goes to the outside. Dillon sliding the tires up off the curbing on the bottom. Blaney purposely still stays a little bit wider. Trying to beat the 3 car. And Dillon gonna let him go into the S's. It looked like Blaney had to run. The 3 saw him and he let him go. Didn't want to risk it. And now he is a lap down. Blaney closing on the 99 of Kyle Larson. Daniel Suarez as well. And he'll clear Suarez. 1 car on pit road. That's William Byron in the 24. Blaney closes now on Martin Truex Jr. in the 19 car. He's just going to let Truex go. He didn't want to get squeezed into the wall, risk blowing a tire. And that kink. Now into turn 1. Down to the bottom into turn 3. Blaney hugs the curbing as he stays alongside the 19. All these cars he's passing right now, if we do get a late yellow, there's not going to be many cars left on the lead lap. Backs up the corner. Gets to the inside of Truex. Again, not able to pass him as he falls in line behind him. Kickstart my crew. Welcome to the stream. Little mistake there by Blaney. Truex going to hang on again. He's holding as strong as he can. Trying to hold on to the lead lap and hope for a quick caution that does not happen. And Truex is a lap down, leaving just 5 cars on the lead lap. We know 3 of them, Denny Hamlin, Chase Elliott, Kyle Larson, unaware who the other one is. Lap car in the 16 of Kaz Gralla. Blaney blows around him into the S's. Billy Kramer, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're enjoying your vacation in Texas. And 17 likes on the stream. See if we can get to 20 by the end of it. We have 14 people currently watching. We're in the final stage at Sonoma. Ryan Blaney has won the first 2 stages of tonight's race on NASCAR 21 Ignition for the final season. Just 10 races to go until the regular season concludes. Blaney trying to cut in on Joey Logano, his teammate, for the regular season points lead. He's not going to have a shot of taking the points lead at all today, but a max points day would be huge. And Joey Logano, 1 stage point in the first 2 stages combined. That was a 10th place finish at the end of stage 1. And now he's a lap down outside the top 15, the last we saw of him before that last pit stop. I think Alex Bowman actually cycled out of the pits behind Blaney. He might have been the last car to hit pit road. So Bowman is in 5th, but I believe he is a lap down if I'm not mistaken. Well, he might be. I don't know. That's weird. He was scored behind us, and then he was scored ahead of us like 2 turns later. I guess that would make sense that he would be in front of us, considering that Truex was in 6th, and we just lapped him 2 laps ago. 19 likes. There we go. We're 1 away. Heck, why not make it 25 at that point if we get to 20? Back to our regularly scheduled time slot tomorrow. I have to get used to these a little bit later start times now that the weather's getting a little bit warmer for golf season for me on my work days at least. Try to get 9 holes in after work, so that's why tonight's stream started, or was scheduled to start at 7:30. I didn't realize I had a software update on my PS4, so that's why I didn't get it started till 8 o'clock. Tried to let you guys know as soon as I could when I saw it. I literally logged onto the PlayStation like 15 minutes before I was supposed to start streaming at 7:30. I was like, oh, I have a software update, and that took like 25 minutes. So I just waited till 8 o'clock. By the time I got everything up and ready, I could have started it about 7:50, but I figured I'd wait till the top of the hour at that point. So a little bit behind schedule because of that tonight, but we started at 7:30 the night before because I had golfed as well. So back at 6 tomorrow, though. I'm off of work, so 6 p.m. tomorrow night. You're going to be seeing a lot of Busch Series races Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday for the next couple of weeks, just a fair warning. But Sunday, Monday, and Thursdays, we'll be doing Cup Series pretty much all the time. Derek Booth hit the 20th like. There we go. Now we're up to 21. Now we have 21 likes on the stream. There we go. Let's get to 25. We're almost there. Greatly appreciate it. I put in the community tab earlier today on the channel when I was on my lunch break and saw my analytics so far for the month of April. And we have hit over 190 subscribers this month alone already, and we're only a couple weeks into the month. I greatly appreciate that, everybody. About 37,000 views in the last 3 weeks as well. So you guys have been awesome as of late. By far the biggest month on the channel so far, and we still have a couple more weeks. Well, a week and a half left of the month yet. See if we can grow that even more. Should hit the 200 mark easy, especially Talladega being at the end of the month, and that's a live race commentary stream on a Sunday afternoon. If our ratings go back up for Talladega again, I almost wonder if, with the Cup race being on Saturday night, if that hurt the live stream ratings for the live commentary. Because we did hit 189, but that was the first race I had under 200 concurrent viewers. And in fact, every other race, there was only one other race where I didn't even hit 300. And if I remember correctly, I think it was Phoenix. I didn't quite hit 300 at Phoenix. But I hit at least 300 in the other 4 between the Clash, Coda, Las Vegas. Well, I guess that would have been it. Those would have been the only other races I did. But yeah, between the Xfinity one, the Xfinity race, I think we had 60 to 80 people watching. So I noticed that was down. I just wonder if it was because it was night races instead of day races. People maybe not knowing that the race was on Saturday night. Historic Cinematics, welcome to the stream. Fonda Ullery's back in the chat again as well. 13 laps to go for Blaney this time by. And just 5 cars on the lead lap if we did see a late caution. Ryan Blaney running in first after winning each of the first 2 stages, and so far leading the most laps in today's race. Probably locked that up easily as well. Just with this final stage alone, he's led all but 1 lap in the final stage. Led all but, I believe, only 4 laps in stage 2. and took him about 14 laps to get to the lead in stage number 1 for the first time today. Alex Bowman is actually about to go lap down in 5th, so that would leave just Hamlin, Elliott, and Larson on the lead lap if Bowman goes a lap down in the 48. He's stuck behind Ryan Newman in the 6, who's been pretty tough to pass even for Blaney today. Still tough to pass. Blaney to the outside. Could tell Bowman was going to try to put it 3 wide down to the bottom. He definitely got around Ryan Newman. He might have taken the look 3 wide. Definitely got around the 6, but he couldn't stay in front of the 12. Had an even bigger run on the outside, but was already clear of the 48 by the time the 48 had tried to break loose. So 4 cars on the lead lap in this Ryan Blaney dominated special tonight at Sonoma, looking for his first career win. At Sonoma would be his 3rd career road course win. Of course, he won the inaugural Roval race in 2018, and we had a win with Coda for him on this season just 2 races ago. 2 wins in the last 3 races. That's going to be big as well. Again, 2 max points days. That's 120 points in those 2 races alone. It'll put him up to 460 points total on the season. I believe Joey Logano is at like 520 something coming into this race. So he's still quite a ways behind Logano, but he's going to close in quite a bit. Especially with Logano only getting 1 stage point to Blaney's 20 today. And Logano, as far as we know, is still outside the top 10 as well. Blaney's going to outscore him by more than 10 points in the points for the race finishing results as well. 3 more road courses still to go before the playoffs. That's going to help Blaney a lot. I will say his worst track, though, is going to be Nashville, and that's the next race. That's probably the biggest hurdle to try and get over. He won the Daytona 500 to start the season. We go back to Daytona for the regular season finale, so that could be hit or miss. He has a win at Michigan, obviously, last season in real life, so that could be a good track for him. We mentioned the road courses are pretty good for him. His first career win was at Pocono. We have the doubleheader there yet, so a lot of the races at the end of this regular season, the final 10, he's got a lot of good ones. Outside of Nashville, the other 9 are going to be honestly capable winning events. He's had great runs at New Hampshire. He hasn't won there, but I feel confident with that racetrack too. It's going to be fun to see if the 12 can pull it off. Remember, 15 playoff points is awarded to the regular season champion. That's why that's so important. Consistency still does matter with this points format. No matter what people say about the regular season not mattering, it matters. We see how many times at the end of the rounds, at each round in the playoffs, whether it's the round of 16, 12, 8 to get to the championship 4, how many times it comes down to just a couple points. And not only 15 playoff points for winning the regular season championship, but if you're in the top 10 in the regular season, you get playoff points. The difference in you finishing maybe 6th in the regular season standings versus 8th in the regular season standings could save you a bump in one of the round of the playoffs. As well as just every potential stage win you could have throughout the course of the season, how much that adds up also. I will say, though, you usually at Sonoma of the road courses don't see a driver win both stages and the race too often. Well, I guess Kyle Larson did it last year, but besides Kyle Larson, you usually don't see it. It's hard to win both and win the race because of all the strategy games being played. Usually it sacrifices stages, but then it's hard to make your way through traffic. But Blaney was able to do that early on. He's pretty much kept the track position for the most part today. It's just the first lap after the restart's tough for him to get going, and he loses a spot or two, but he gets it right back. That's why he really needs us to stay green to the end, because he has struggled in that situation already a couple times today. The only restarts have been after the stage breaks themselves, though, so far. Finish alternating through the camera angles for about the next 4 laps, as we have 10 laps to go in this one. They got into the Gulf of Mexico. That's pretty cool.
One left.
Was it warm?
Clear.
Is it just as warm in the... Well, I guess not winter anymore. It's hard to believe it's the middle of spring. It doesn't feel like that in Ohio. I mean, today it did. It actually got up to about 70 degrees the last 3 days. It rained today, but we're supposed to have a cold front coming through after this rainstorm. Tomorrow's supposed to be a high of 59, but we're supposed to have 20 to 30 mile an hour winds with 40 mile an hour wind gusts. So the wind chill's probably going to be below 50 if I had to guess. And then the high for the next 2 days after that's 50 and 48. Luckily, the high of 48 on Saturday. Here, I'll be in Bristol where it's 65. So, thank goodness.
Clear, clear.
Sounds like a good week for me to leave.
Clear, clear.
At least for a couple days. Maybe I'll bring the warm weather back with me next week. Blaney's sliding pretty wide. Almost got into the wall. It was a close call. Checks out behind the 53 car. Joey Gase.
Got one left. Clear, clear, clear.
Being very patient behind him. Blaney's barely made contact with another driver today. I can only really recall on about 4 or 5 occasions he's even made contact with somebody. So in that aspect, he's been very clean. He's gone off course a few times. Lack of concentration, just really on the older tires trying to hang on for grip. He's only hit the wall twice. Very, very light scrapes at that, too. It's definitely led into having himself a great day so far today. Challenges to the outside.
All right, hold your line.
Joey Gase, though, trying to drag race him now. Gase already a couple laps down.
Got one right.
I think he's trying to undercut the 12.
Clear, clear.
Little crossover by Gase. Blaney gets the drive off. A little more clean air to run now for the 12. Yeah, we do have a second trivia question coming tonight. I'll ask you guys that right now as we come to 8 laps to go. Our second trivia question of the night is who is the only driver to qualify outside the top 30 and win at Sonoma? So again, not start outside the top 30, but who is the only driver to qualify outside the top 30 and win at Sonoma? Only one driver has done it. I want to see if you guys can name it down in the chat below. I'll give you guys the answer to that question at lap 87. So you have until lap 87 to try and figure it out. If I see it down in the chat before that, I'll let you guys know. Nobody got the first one right. We'll see if somebody gets the second question right tonight. Laney pushing really hard, almost went off course. All the curbing off the exit of the corner. It's not me, no. Well, I guess it would be today. Ryan Blaney did start outside the top 30 in this race. So I guess he's about to be the second driver to ever start outside the top 30 and win at Sonoma. Qualify, excuse me, outside the top 30 and win at Sonoma. Far wide, kept from running into Bubba Wallace, though, with that. And he'll just sit behind him into the S's. It's not Jeremy Mayfield, not Kyle Busch, not Tony Stewart. And he into the back of Wallace. Into him again. That time he got squeezed, though, by the 23. He was already down on the curbing. Squeezes around Eric Almirola now as well. Not Jeff Gordon, not Rusty Wallace, assuming you meant Rusty Wallace. Joey Logano, not Mark Martin. Not Logano either. I still haven't seen it right yet. I haven't seen the correct answer down in the chat. I don't think Jimmy Spencer ever won at Sonoma. Not in the Cup Series, at least, that I know of.
Got one right. Clear, clear, clear.
Any under Corey LaJoy. In contact with the 7 car.
Clear all around.
Oh, man, that was some heavy contact into the 16. I think Gralla was able to save it. Could have been a caution that would not have been great for Ryan Blaney. Went in hot into that hairpin once again, and he ran right into the back of the 16 car. Doesn't look like the water temp's really rising any, so that's good. It's a good thing Ryan Blaney's got a big lead, only 4 cars on the lead lap as well. We'll go back to the far chase cam for the rest of this race now. Six laps to go. Not Matt Kenseth, not Dale Earnhardt, not Jeff Burton, not Jimmy Johnson. I still have not seen the correct answer down in the chat for this question. Again, who is the only driver to win at Sonoma and qualify outside the top 30 in that race? Well, as if Blaney had a fairly clean night for the most part, he definitely ran into the back of the 16 of Gralla pretty hard. He had a big lead. I don't think it's going to cost him any. Unless we get a caution that stacks everybody up with this damage, then it's going to be a little interesting. But luckily we didn't get a yellow. Gralla didn't spin out, so that was also good. Helping keep it about as clean as possible. As far as caution-free, I mean, obviously it wasn't clean between the contact, but still caution-free, though, from incident. I believe in 2019 there was no caution for incident at Sonoma, if I remember correctly. Which was the first race back with this layout. Almost a carbon copy of the race today. A little bit different rules package, though, in 2019 on the road courses. They had the high downforce with the 750 horsepower package. Made it a little tougher to pass in clean air. Or in dirty air. Tough to pass as is. Not Casey Mears and not Casey Kane. Casey Mears' only Cup win came at Charlotte in the Coke 600 in 2007. You guys have about another lap to lap and a half to try and get the trivia question right tonight. Again, who's the only driver to qualify outside the top 30 at Sonoma and win? Of course, in the Cup Series, not John Cena. Roman Reigns. Thank God Derek Booth is mailing it in. He's running out of guesses.
Stay left. Clear, clear.
Kickstart my crew. Thanks for tuning in before you go. And yes, you did get the question correctly. When Pablo Montoya, 2007, in his rookie season, was the only driver to qualify outside the top 30 at Sonoma and win. I wondered, I had a feeling somebody was going to get it. I guys had a lot of guesses before that one, but yes, when Pablo Montoya, his first career Cup win. Was the answer to tonight's second trivia question. At least you guys got that one. Didn't go home empty-handed. Most of you are probably at home already, but you guys get the point. You don't have to take that expression literally. It's a figurative statement.
Clear, clear, clear.
Ryan Blaney closing in on Denny Hamlin. Hamlin in 4th. Kyle Larson's actually the next car ahead of Hamlin in 3rd as well.
Got one left.
Blaney did the outside. I guess that damage isn't slowing him down on the front of his race car as he blows by Denny Hamlin. Now just 3 cars on the lead lap if we did see a late yellow And no free pass in this game as well. It's gonna help. 3.5 laps to go in a couple corners. So he closes on the 5 of Larson. Chase Elliott is in second. Be the only other car with Larson on the lead lap. Of course, Elliott, Larson finished 1-2 in 2021 in real life at Sonoma, so no surprise that those guys are running towards the front of the field here. Elliott with 2 wins on road courses last season, Larson with 3, and now Larson is a lap down. Blaney clears him off the exit of the carousel. Blaney charges hard into the hairpin as he closes on his teammate Austin Cindric in front of him. Another talented road course racer, not having a very great day though in 36th. And he'll let his teammate go in the S's that time. So just 2 cars on the lead lap. This race going caution free. 2 pit stops in the final stage, none in stage 1 and 1 in stage 2. Due to not pitting during any of the stage breaks. If we would have pitted during the stage breaks, we would have probably had to make 1 extra stop. It would have been borderline on whether or not Blaney would have made it on 1 stop in the final stage or not, if he pitted during the stage 2 break. But basically everybody did this. I feel like Kickstarter my crew cheated. He might have cheated on his way out the door. It's possible. I would hope he didn't. We'll never know for sure. I mean, I figured somebody was going to get Montoya at some point. That, and there were a lot of guesses before he said Montoya. So as the names were rolling off the board, I kept saying no.
All right, hold your line. Clear all around.
Kyle Busch in that very next race in 2008 won at Sonoma. And he actually qualified in 30th. Those are the only 2 drivers who start 30th or worse. Montoya was the only one outside the top 30 and qualifying to win. And strangely enough, like I said, that happened in back-to-back races at Sonoma. 2007 for Montoya, 2008 for Kyle Busch. We come to 2 laps to go, this time by. When Ryan Blaney takes the white flag, the next flag will end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. He's definitely going to hope it's the latter of 2, and we just stay green, and he doesn't have to worry about getting into trouble at all and risk DNFing. Another car on pit road here, having an issue late in the race. Couple cars on pit road. Maybe some drivers who weren't able to stretch it on 3 stops, perhaps. Ross Chastain was in. He was having some problems with slow pit stops earlier in the race as well, and Chastain's day gets from bad to worse. Martin Truex Jr. won the 2017 championship. It's too easy, man. Unless you're like a really new fan to the sport. Half a lap away from the white flag. That would be the surrender flag, the way this one has gone today for Blaney versus the rest of the field. Probably didn't need all 90 laps to prove that he can win this one today, but it's more laps for him to lead on his total for the season. Why not? He's able to at least continue on. Good thing it's not 110 laps like on the other layout, otherwise he'd probably have to make 1 more pit stop before the end of the race. He doesn't even have to worry about that either. William Byron in 15th. 1 lap down. I think he'll be able to stay on his lap. I don't think Blaney's going to catch him in these final couple corners. I don't know. He might. He's closing in pretty quickly on the 24. Yeah, okay. Never mind. I guess he did catch him, and he'll clear him off the exit of the final corner. So Byron will finish 2 laps down at 15th. But most importantly, though, checkered flag is in the air, and Ryan Blaney is going to win. Oh, my bad. No, he's in the wall. I missed it. Oh, no. I cannot believe I did that. Ryan Blaney to the white flag. And he's got a blown right front tire. I was thinking, I pulled a Mark Martin. I was thinking that was the last lap of the race. Oh, what a tough break for Blaney. He's got to keep it going. He can't get stuck in the sand. He's got a blown right front tire. Oh, this is unbelievable. I don't know where Chase Elliott's at exactly, but he has to be hungry right now. Blaney just crammed the wall in turn 1.
One left. Clear, clear.
Can't get the car to turn to the left. That might go up there as one of the most embarrassing things I think I've ever done. I knew that was coming to the final lap. And I said checkered flag thinking it was over. I just had a... Unlike Mark Martin at Bristol in 1990 in the Busch Series, throwing away the win, I think Blaney's got a big enough lead. He should be able to win this race still. He's got less than a half a lap to go. Kind of staying in first and second gear to try to help get the car to turn. He can't get stuck in the grass, so that's the big thing.
Clear, clear, clear.
Hamlin is back on the lead lap, so is Kyle Larson in third and fourth.
Stay left. Clear, clear, clear.
Now we'll be coming to the checkered flag. Still going to end up caution-free. Blaney's car's a little more damaged than what it probably should be, but he's going to end up winning this race regardless. Checkered flag in the air. Ryan Blaney now will win at Sonoma. Oh my gosh. Well, that doesn't tell you how tired I am, then I don't know what does. And, I don't know. Something happened to Chase Elliott. Because Kyle Larson's in second now, Denny Hamlin third. I think Chase Elliott might have ran out of gas and had to pit. Coming to the white flag. Because Elliott is no longer in second place like he was. Ryan Blaney wins, blowing a tire on the last lap. He had a gigantic lead, though. There were only 2 cars on the lead lap when the lap started, and I think Elliott ran out of gas anyway, so I guess it wasn't going to matter. Blaney was able to limp it home a winner tonight. I'm so glad we had that big of a lead built up. Oh my goodness. There wasn't really any pressure when that happened. It just startled me because I was thinking it was over. I'm glad we didn't DNF. I mean, we were going into the wall nearly full speed. I wasn't on the gas anymore, but I wasn't on the brakes either. That was a pretty sharp angle hit. 39 playoff points on the year for Ryan Blaney. That is the 6th win of the season for Blaney. His 3rd on a road course this year, giving him 460 points total on the season. Less than 100 behind Joey Logano now as he's trying to close in with 10 races to go in the regular season. Got some good tracks left for him. Kyle Larson does end up finishing at 2nd. Denny Hamlin will end up finishing 3rd. Chase Elliott 4th. Alex Bowman will round out the top 5. Austin Dillon in 6th. Brad Keselowski 7th. Michael McDowell with a top 10 finishing 8th. Kyle Busch 9th, and Kevin Harvick will round out the top 10. 4 cars finished on the lead lap in today's race. We only had 2 coming to the white flag, but Blaney's mishap on that last lap allowed for Larson and Hamlin to get back on the lead lap. It's a good thing that did happen, because if that didn't happen, then I think Elliott still would have finished 2nd. So that allows Larson to gain even more points. He was 2nd coming into Joey Logano, so another free point there instead of finishing 3rd. Ends up with a 2nd place run. That was such a NASCAR 21 ignition-like way of winning the race, by the way. Just thinking it was the last lap, and it wasn't the last lap. And I don't even know how I did that. We'll take a look at Ryan Blaney in victory lane as soon as I get the finishing results on my phone. So I get the points paying purposes out of the way here. And furthest car back in the running order was Matt Mills. 40 laps down as we transfer to victory lane for the number 12 team of Ryan Blaney getting the win in wine country. His first career win at Sonoma. victorious again. He's the most winningest driver so far this season. And now 39 playoff points, receiving 7 today. Winning both stages in the race. He's got 9 stage wins on the year. It's only my 7th top 10 of the season. 6 wins, 7 top 10s, 7 top 5s. I think the only other, if I'm thinking correctly, I think the only race we didn't win but had that top 10 and top 5 was at Talladega when we finished 3rd. So definitely not a lot of consistency. That's why Blaney's not the regular season points leader. Our next race is going to be at Nashville. That's my worst track on this game. I'd be surprised if we don't finish last. We may end up having trivia that night whenever it ends up happening. Probably sometime next week, I'd have to imagine. Definitely not going to happen the rest of this week with going to Dirt Bristol this weekend. Tomorrow night's live stream will be on NASCAR Chase for the Cup 2005. And we'll be Nextel Cup Series racing at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. So hope to see you guys for that one. 13 races to go to crowning a champion there. And our fight for the championship between Greg Biffle, our driver, and then Dale Earnhardt Jr. Busch Series racing will be on Friday night on the channel at Bristol. 14 races to go on the season there. 85 points separates first and second place after Ron Hornaday gets a second place finish in the last one at California. Greg Biffle's 16th Greg Biffle outside the top 20. So outside the top 20 for Greg Biffle in that race. They both scored bonus points, but Hornaday literally cut it in half from 170 points back to 85. If that happens again, he's tied for the points lead. So it's definitely coming down to the wire in both series. Again, 14 races to go in the Busch Series, 13 in the Cup Series going into the next sets of races over the next couple nights. Hope to see you guys then. That'll wrap it up for this one. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 6.